Okay, quick thing before we start. Since I've recorded this video, the range of snipe shot has been increased. Like, way increased. So, I am going to show more of this. Oh my gosh. I'm going to show more of this later in the video. But I just want to let you know I do know about it, and you will see some stuff about it. Love you. See you soon. Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw! And the next Pokemon coming to Pokemon Unite is Inteleon. I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know about this Pokemon before it hits Eos Island in just a couple days. Inteleon is our newest attacker coming to Unite. It is a ranged attacker that is based on special attack. It also deals a lot with critical hits, so we're going to be going over why you may run items like a scope lens or even boost emblems that help with critical hits in this video. You start as a cute little Sobble, and you have a choice between two moves, Tearful Look and Water Gun. We're going to talk about them really quick here, as you can already see Sobble's passive start to activate here. Whenever you move near a wall, you will activate this passive where you become camouflaged and you gain charges of these boosted attacks, basically these secured guaranteed critical hits. This Pokemon does have natural critical hit ability, but also when you have these, your attacks are guaranteed critical hits, not only on your basic attacks, but also on your move in that first slot. So your Water Gun, your Liquidation, your Snipe Shot. This Water Gun does a ton of damage like this, amazing for securing early, which means this is an attacker that you could probably play in lane, which is pretty rare for a Pokemon like this. Another way to gain a charge for your guaranteed critical hit is using your Tearful Look. Boom, right there you can see you get a charge right away, and your next attack, whether it be your move or your boosted, you do a ton of damage right there. Boom, boom, no crit, no crit, no crit, no crit, no crit. Oh, there was a crit in there. Guaranteed crit. At level 5, you get your first move and you evolve. You can either pick Fell Stinger or Acrobatics. Let's talk about Fell Stinger first. I gotta say, I love Fell Stinger. I think Acrobatics is probably a stronger choice, but Fell Stinger is so incredibly fun. So Fell Stinger and Acrobatics are both mobility moves. They both have a dash. Fell Stinger will give you a piece of guaranteed critical hit gauge below you. So if you hit an enemy, boom, you get a guaranteed critical hit. Same thing with wild Pokemon, actually. You will get a guaranteed critical hit on your next attack. You also can use it to bounce over to a wall, which is really exciting, and it makes it pretty easy to activate your passive as well. I love it. It also has a lower cooldown when you do this. I have move cooldowns turned off just so I can show you how this works, but this is just really exciting mobility for this Pokemon, and it's at pretty long range too, which I really like. You can use this, do some damage to your enemy, and instead of bouncing to your enemy, because again, you won't move here, right? You could actually use this if you're chasing someone, bounce to a wall, follow them, move around, bounce to another wall, and you can do a ton of damage that way. It's, I think, going to be a very high skill way to play this Pokemon, but it will be extremely fun. Again, your other option is Acrobatics. So Acrobatics feels like a more safe way to play this Pokemon, a little easier. It also combos directly with Liquidation, and it feels like it's a little easier to give you boosted critical hits sometimes. So that may be why this move is just a lot better. Let me show you here. It's just a dash. Decent range. It's nothing crazy, right? It's just like an okay dash right there. But if you dash into an enemy Pokemon, you get to bounce again. Or if you dash into a wall, you get to bounce again. You can bounce and redirect too. So you can bounce in, bounce right back off, right? You can bounce in, go over a lot of obstacles. You can bounce and go up and around. So there's a lot of mobility options with this move that you don't have exactly with Fell Stinger. Again, Fell Stinger, you're not hopping over a wall. Fell Stinger, you're not using it directly on a Pokemon to hop over. This also gives you more charges than Fell Stinger. Fell Stinger will let you bounce into a wall and then immediately start your passive, but you can kind of do that with Acrobatics as well. So I think Acrobatics is just going to be a little more consistent than Fell Stinger. And if you're chasing down an enemy, you bounce on them, over them, and you have 2 charges of your boosted. The 2 charges of your boosted are massive. I guess I shouldn't be calling it your boosted, but it's your Snipe Shot, your guaranteed critical hit ability. What is your passive called? Hold on. The word I'm looking for is critical counter. Those are what are under your character's health bar right there, and they give you those guaranteed critical hits. Let's move on from acrobatics and let's talk about liquidation, one of your next 2 move choices for this Pokemon. Liquidation, this is the finger guns right here. Very, very cool. It's a really exciting move. I think maybe it could do a little more damage, but at the same time, it's actually pretty decent. It's a sure hit, so even if you're kind of far away, you can move like this with an eject button. Those projectiles will hit. However, they do stop at anything that's in between. So if I want to hit this Xatu right here and I aim at them right now with liquidation, it will all hit this substitute doll instead because I'm in the way. Well, I guess my left hand wasn't in the way, but you get the idea. They can be blocked by an enemy Pokemon right here, but you can use them to set up some really cool things. And as you're noticing, it does have some built-in critical hit, but if you have even a single critical hit counter charged up for Inteleon, every single hit of this critically hits. And I think not having a critical hit charged up for this move is a big mistake. Same thing with your Snipe shot, which we'll get to in a little bit. Something liquidation also does is for a very brief period after using it, your basic attacks deal more damage. And if you have it set up right, you kind of move in with a fully critical hit liquidation into 2 big boosted attacks right there. You also can combo liquidation with acrobatics, so you can be using this move and use acrobatics while it is happening to reposition yourself and then continue attacking. I don't know if you will often be repositioning yourself with acrobatics in a situation like this, but it's definitely something that you could take advantage of. So you could set up a moment where you're using liquidation and you can actually bounce back to get away from a situation. You could probably also use it to make some really cool plays, bouncing over walls and things like that. So there definitely are some options using liquidation and acrobatics right here. You also could just be using acrobatics afterwards to chase down a KO, which I think is a little more likely that you're fighting, you're continuing to fight, you use it to get more critical hits, chase it down, and then you can even use your liquidation again. Notice, by the way, that you actually do reduce the cooldown of liquidation when you hit with acrobatics. So, boom, it's back pretty much right away. So you can set up some really cool combos with that. Actually, you know what? One second here. Let's see if you actually are able to reset the cooldown just by landing while it is happening. Liquidation, the cooldown is happening. I guess you could do that too. So that is a decent reason to use it like that. That being said, you will probably end up without a critical hit counter if you play it like that. But if you use that intelligently, you could reset the cooldown of your liquidation sort of as it's happening right here and have another one ready to go. If I have 3 counters, I could liquidation, bounce off, hit a hit, and then boom, into a liquidation and still have a critical hit there. It's a little tricky, but yes, you could make that happen as well, which could be a pretty fun combo. Liquidation Plus is just more charges of liquidation hitting, and then Acrobatics Plus is increased distance on your first dash right there. So you just get more distance with Acrobatics, which is pretty great. As you can see from what I'm doing right here, even though Liquidation hits a ton of times, you can see how powerful just a boosted critical hit is from this Pokemon on its basic attacks. Even though you're hitting a ton with Liquidation, you get so much value out of just hitting your massive basic attacks with this Pokemon. Oddly enough, at times it feels like Liquidation doesn't give you as much as using your basics. Even though if you do look at it as one big burst right here at level 13, you're doing 4,700 damage. So it's very solid, but so are your basic attacks. Your next move is Snipe Shot on Inteleon. That is the move where you charge it up. It feels similar in some ways to a Spirit Shackle that you cannot move, and in doing this, you will be able to unleash a very powerful, long-range critical hit. As you can see right here, I hit this enemy at close range. There are 3 levels of damage on a Snipe Shot. Allow me to show you. Close range, right there, 2,000 damage. Then there's about medium range right there, 3,100 damage. And then there's longer range right here, 4,200 damage. A good way to look at it, close range is just extremely close. That'll do the damage right there. At about halfway of your Snipe Shot's charge bar right there, oops, that's even a little too far, as you could see. That was the full 4,200 damage. At about half of your bar, slightly under, there it is. You got your 3,100 damage. And then even right here, slightly over half the distance away from a full charge is your full damage of 4,200 there. Obviously, this is level 15. That's not a typical number that you're going to see inside of a game of Pokemon Unite, but you can just see the differences between those. You know, up close, you do a lot less damage. This move also needs to be charged or you're not going to get a guaranteed hit on it right here. Basically, once it hits the bar that it shows you, that's when it is lined up for the right kind of shot. You can fire it off wildly if you want, but it's not really a sure thing that you're going to hit at all, as you can see. Also, this move really wants you to have a charged up critical counter in place. Hitting this without a critical counter seems like a big mistake for this move. As you can see, not having a critical counter right here, charging this up, you know, 1600 damage is pretty different from 4200. Now, there are a lot of cool things to notice with Snipe Shot, and this Rayquaza is going to help show them to you right now. First off, the distance you can hit Rayquaza from is extremely legit. You can be back here. Oh, hi. Get out of here. You can be all the way back here, and you can nail Rayquaza from this distance, like right... It's like right about here. You can hit into the Rayquaza pit and do your damage. I just have to be able to nail it. Right about there is even too close. Right there, you can hit Rayquaza. So you can hit Rayquaza from very far away. But there are a lot of things that could stop this from happening. I haven't been able to hit Rayquaza fully from the Reddit bush up here, but I believe you could nail it right about from there. Ooh, it's really close to over here. There it is, right there. So you can be all the way over here, and you are able to hit and snipe Rayquaza. However, this move does not go through enemy Pokemon. It will go through wild Pokemon, like this. You're able to hit all of these, essentially, but it does not go through enemy Pokemon. So if there's an enemy in the way of your Snipe Shot, you are not going to be able to hit this shot. Let me show you right here. If I'm trying to line up a shot on Rayquaza and Slowbro is here, the shot will not go through this Slowbro. Right there. And that's going to be a lot of the counterplay to Inteleon, as you can see. Now, Inteleon's going to set up a lot of moments that are going to be pretty incredible with its camouflage. And of course, if you're on the other side of Rayquaza and this Inteleon's right there, good luck, because it's going to be able to secure this pretty easily. That's why in a lot of these moments, you're going to need to find an Inteleon and KO it before you can have a very safe secure. However, when you are playing against an Inteleon, you will see their sniper shot. It's not like you'll have no idea where it is. In fact, it will telegraph where the enemy Inteleon is on the map. Even if they're camouflaged, you will know where they are. Something to notice here, even though you are camouflaged, enemies can kind of see you. Very similar to the movie Predator. I mean, you are able to be seen out there. They can see you moving around, especially if you're using Snipe Shot, a big red laser sight. Do you see that blue sight that's on the map right there? That will appear to the enemy. So not the central area there, but you see that blue line that's right next to it, moving around after it. Enemies will see that. They will know where you are, whether you're standing out in the open or not, whether you're camouflaged or not. They will see that laser sight and have an exact idea of where Inteleon is. So, you're not invisible, you're camouflaged. Different from being completely invisible inside of a game of Pokemon Unite. However, you can't be targeted with auto attacks when you're invisible, but you could easily target that area with an area attack. So if you're playing Overheat on Chandelure or something like that, that attacks in a big area, you would easily be able to do that. Also, Inteleon's Unite move will reveal invisible or camouflaged enemies. So this enemy Inteleon has its Unite move out right now. It is able to see me, and I will be able to see it, even if it's running away and invisible, because I can see things in bushes, I can see invisible Sableye, I can see a lot with this Unite move. Speaking of this Unite move, let's start talking about it, because it's pretty dang good, and it's the reason for a little while I was playing around with an energy amplifier on this Pokemon, just so I could use its Unite move even more. Inteleon's Unite move will reveal enemies around you, either in tall grass or in stealth, and it also continuously increases your critical hit counter right there. You can see it just slowly starting to regain as I am moving around and attacking. You're mainly going to use this to move around and attack with. You're not going to be using this as much to charge up a Snipe Shot. shot, it feels like it's just going to be wasting your time inside this move. Instead, you're going to use your move. That gauge is going to continue to go up, and even when you're out of critical hit counters, this is boosting your crit rate. The game says it doubles your critical hit rate, and I don't know if that counts your items or anything like that, but in general, this is a massive boost to your critical hit. This Unite move feels like a great way to follow up the start of an encounter here. So you find a great snipe shot, and then boom, you move in with your Unite move, you continue fighting, you're chasing them down with your acrobatics or fell stinger, and all the while you're dealing massive damage with all of your auto attack critical hits that are huge in this moment. One thing I don't love about this Unite move is it kind of stalls you for a second here, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Imagine that you're fighting an enemy, and then you want to continue chasing and use your Unite. You are stopped for a moment right there as you use it. It's not the end of the world, so, you know, you'll still be able to chase down a lot of enemies. Of course, with any Unite move, you kind of get a little super power boost for a little while. I don't know the exact stats on Inteleon, but many Pokemon give you a little bit of a shield, as you can see right there, a slight attack speed bonus, etc. So the only thing I really don't love about this Unite move is that right there, that for a second, if you're continuing to chase an enemy, you do have to stop so that you can kind of look cool for a moment and then use your Unite. Other Unites in the game can be a little more fluid than this, and then some aren't. Some make you pause for a second. A real fun combo will be the Liquidation into a Unite move where you're just doing a ton of damage to an enemy right there. You may even start your Unite move first, but with the charge on your Unite move, I don't know if you'll actually be using a ton of moves during it. I think you'll mainly be using it for auto attacks. Liquidation, bounce it around, attack, attack, Liquidation, bounce it around, Unite move, let's go! Inteleon is a weird Pokemon in this sense because at times it feels like an auto attacker and at times it feels way more deliberate. Let me know in the comments what you think your playstyle is going to be with this Pokemon, and if you plan on picking it up, I would love to hear from you as we move in to talk about some held items and boost emblems and all that exciting stuff. Held items are always tricky to nail down before a Pokemon releases because we don't know the exact scaling and we actually don't even know the numbers that it will release at, but let's take a look at a few options for this Pokemon. Scope Lens is a very good option for this. It gives you some natural critical hit. It also increases overall critical hit damage, and this Pokemon is very much based inside of critical hit. Even a Pokemon like a Azumarill that has full critical hit when it's only hitting one Pokemon still benefits from a Scope Lens because it gives you plus 12% critical hit damage, and that's what you really want to do. You want to get those huge bursts when you are getting a critical hit. Slick Spoon feels like it could be a great option for this Pokemon. It's a special attack Pokemon, and this will have you ignore 20% of your opponent's special defense when you're using a special attack, and everything you do essentially is a special attack. Wise Glasses could be a good call. We're going to have to see again how the scaling works on special attack. You also have a few options here with some of your attack based items because of attack speed. Muscle Band will help you because it gives you extra chip damage on all of your basics while at the same time helping you attack a little bit faster. We'll know for sure exactly how much faster and how that will work when the Pokemon releases. It's possible getting a little extra cooldown or special attack from a Shell Bell wouldn't be the worst thing. Again, I tried Energy Amplifier just here and there. Your Unite move really is a great opportunity for you to start cleaning up multiple enemies on the enemy team, and this just makes you more powerful in that moment and charges that Unite move even faster. Looking at other items, I did try stacking special attack specs, and I couldn't tell if I was just expecting more out of it. Of course, you are doing more damage with all of your special attacks when you do stack special attack specs, but I thought maybe it wasn't enough for the amount of time you needed to put into stacking. Again, numbers will be the real judge of an item like that. After that, I don't think Razor Claw is going to be a huge item for this Pokemon. Choice specs, possibly, but I think you get so much from your auto attacks that you probably would be better with something like a Rapid Fire Scarf. Even if not all of the attacks you hit are critical hits, a lot of them will be. So until we know exact numbers, of course, it's going to be hard to say what's going to work best on Inteleon. Here's an emblem setup that I just messed around with really quick. This gives you 6 green, 6 white, 13.5 special attack, so 14 special attack with some increased critical hit, right? Something like this could be kind of fun on Inteleon, but also maybe a little cheesy because you do lose some stats across the board. And again, we don't know exactly how special attack is going to factor into all of your moves. You could also try running something similar to this right here. 6 green for your special attack, 7 black to get some extra cooldown on all of your moves, 2 white, 2 purple, while at the same time not really sacrificing any critical hit rate and getting a little extra special attack. Okay, so this is me near the end of the video taking a look at more snipe shot range increases. Like I mentioned earlier, snipe shot's range is absolutely insane, and I'm just trying to see where you can start to hit things at. Regirock, you can hit him even from further than that. You can hit him all the way over here, I think. Well, especially when he walks, too. When he walks, you could hit him all the way over here. Gosh, this is going to be nuts. You could be all the way up in this grass. Yeah, you could hit everything in the center right there. From all the way in that tall grass. So you could literally just be moving up to a path, getting ready for a fight. You don't have to see anything, have any vision. You just know from this L bush, you could hit center birds, like all the way through actually, from that L bush. Right here in this L bush, you could hit all the way into an enemy goal zone. I said L bush because naturally I was thinking you were even closer. Nope, you're all the way back here. You could hit into an enemy goal zone like this. Jeez, this range. Right up here, you could take, obviously this is not even full range for Reggie, right? Can you hit it at goal zone? No. Wow. This is so long, you guys. You could hit Reggie all the way from goal. From this bush, obviously, easy shot. Very simple. All the way from here? Yep. Alright, all the way from here you can hit it. Can you hit it from the other side? No! You can hit it from the other side. You can hit it protected from the other side. Jeez. Okay, can you hit it from this? Yes, you can. You can't hit it from here. This is too far, right? Okay, this right here is too far. Yeah. But you could probably hit it, right? I mean, right here is definitely happening. Yes. Oh, boy. You could hit it from the Reddit bush. Right there. Easy shot from the Reddit bush, actually. Can you hit it from the top of the Reddit bush? No, but like partway, like midway through the Reddit bush, you could easily hit it. Hits that. Holy... I mean, the range on this. Obviously, that means easy from here. Like, completely protected. Easy shot from here. Again, this one's close, right? That's a hit. That's a hit right there. Jeez. I mean, no Rayquaza is safe with Inteleon around. Luckily, again, as I mentioned earlier in this video, you can body block this. And you see it coming, but the charge is fast. That's fast. Like, if you're an Inteleon and you acrobatics, eject, even no matter where you are, like, that's a fast thing to have to react to. That's a really fast moment to react to right there. Dang, this is gonna be... I mean... Wow. Okay, I could do this all day, I feel like, just figuring out where you could hit Ray from. Let me know if you've noticed anything crazy, you know, any crazy range into Ray. But this is actually... truly a legit change for this Pokemon. I hope this early guide for Inteleon sets you up to win with this Pokemon, whether you're fighting against it inside of a match or whether you are playing it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Cowboy's going home soon.